Before we do start this video, I do want to speak about our sponsor for today, and that is going to be the OneFootball app. If you want to find out what is currently going on in the World Cup when it comes to Argentina, for example, Brazil, Germany, Spain, France, any of those national teams, you can find all of that information, all of the formations, the tactics, and everything regarding that specific game or that team that you do want to follow. It is going to be found in the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can. So there is going to be a link down below that'll take you straight to the App Store. You download the OneFootball app, you said exactly who and what you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. It's a very easy process. You will be notified immediately and live on your phone, and it is for free. And I hope you guys do enjoy it. And even without the World Cup going on, let's say for example the World Cup is over and you still have the OneFootball app, you can still follow your favorite clubs. So maybe it could be FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool, or whatever football club you do want to follow. Again, the OneFootball app will be there to cover for you 100% of the time. You guys will not be disappointed. So you guys know exactly what we are going to be discussing today. I know that with me talking about the US men's national team, I know that I'm supposed to be talking about this in the American Dynasty YouTube channel, but I do want to talk about it here because it does sit in a very special place in my heart. To see USA win against Iran like this 1-0, right? A very unexpected scoreline from USA for us to go even to the round of 16, which was very unexpected before we even entered this World Cup. I have to talk about it here in this channel with all of you guys. I'm probably also going to be posting it on the American Dynasty YouTube channel, so we'll see what does happen. Again, like, my head is everywhere. I'm thinking about so many things. I'm thinking about how USA is going to be approaching against the Netherlands, by the way. The Netherlands, where we are going to be seeing Frankie de Jong and Memphis Depay, and alongside Virgil van Dijk and some other players, right? So it's crazy to me to see that USA have finally made it, to see that USA are in the round of 16. Again, like I've said before, the whole narrative and the whole story was that USA was not going to make it out of the group stages, mainly because we did not look ready. We looked inexperienced. Greg Berhalter did not look like what he was doing, according to many of these fans. And so, like, these were valid points because we have seen multiple situations where USA have underdelivered in the past 1 year. So as we went into this World Cup, we're like, okay, so what's gonna happen? Like, could we actually win against Wales? Are we gonna tie against Wales, or maybe lose against Wales? Are we gonna be able to beat England? Can we stop England from scoring against us? Like, there were so many questions, but the final result was this: USA have tied against Wales 1-1. They have tied against England 0-0, and they have beaten Iran as they were supposed to 1-0 because we do have the better players compared to Iran. We were supposed to win in this game. Now, I'm going to be talking about what did happen in the second half later down this video because I do have a few things to say. So in total, throughout these past 3 matches, we have scored a total of 2 goals and only conceded 1 goal. We have gotten through the group stages by only scoring 2 goals, which is crazy, but that is because we have to look at the other side of things, right? The grass is always greener on the other side. We have only allowed 1 goal in the past three games. We have only allowed 1 goal in the past 3 games against when we faced Wales, England, and Iran. Could we give a round of applause to the defense of USA for what they have done, for being so disciplined, for being so intense, for not allowing especially England to score goals against us, because we saw England very dangerous. They were coming off of a win where they won 6-2. The England were supposed to score against USA, but they did not let that happen. USA were disciplined. They wore that shirt, right? That blue shirt, the white shirt, and they wore it with pride. And now it has paid freaking off. USA is in the round of 16, and I do have some sort of optimism right now within my body, right? I honestly think that USA can beat the Netherlands. I really think that they can. They just have to play the perfect game. Now, you guys know me. You guys know that I always talk about Barcelona, and we always talk about how we want Barcelona to always attack. We want to see Barcelona always having the ball. We want to see Barcelona playing in a very attractive way. That is our religion when it comes to FC Barcelona. You and me know this. But when it comes to USA, right, I don't really care how USA do approach the other teams, as long as we play in a very, I would say, in a very attacking way, right? But if we have to defend and play in a low block sometimes against certain teams, that is okay with me. I don't really care, as long as USA comes out with the result. And today we have gotten the result, because this is where I am going to get into the second half, right? I want to say one thing. I was really bothered by the last 45 minutes. Like, again, I am okay with seeing USA do certain things that do not really correlate to like what we always talk about when it comes to attacking football, pressing with a high line and all of those things, right? Having 80% of the possession. But what really did annoy me about the last 45 minutes is that USA full time, 99% of the time in those last 45 minutes, they sat down and absorbed all of the pressure coming from Iran, right? I did say that I was okay with USA changing their style in certain games. I don't really care, right? This is USA, it's not FC Barcelona. But when it came to this and looking at the situation, when you knew that USA had to score another goal just to feel safe, USA did not really do that. And if anything, they welcomed Iran in their own half, and that bothered so many people, and especially for the US men's national team fans. Like, all of us were like, what the heck is going on? Why are we allowing Iran to attack us? Like, why are we just going to sit back and defend for the full 45 minutes of the second half? Like, why? Right? Because I was sweating, right? I blame Greg Berhalter for giving me more white hairs on my chest, not on my head, but on my chest, for making me sweat, for coming out like if I just played from this game also, like I just got subbed out. Like, literally, if you saw me after this game was over, I was sweating. Like, I was sweating so much. I'm like, what's going on? And that's because USA were playing the dangerous game, and it was pathetic in some way, and I hope that USA do not do this against the Netherlands. Again, I'm okay with, like, for a few minutes, like maybe about 15 minutes, 10 minutes, USA approaching Netherlands, and they sit on a low block only because Netherlands have the ball. But later in the game, we want to see USA also go out and attack and counterattack. Again, against Iran in this match, they did not do any of that. I swear to you, they did not do anything. No counterattacks, no attacking opportunities that were produced in the second half. Nothing at all. And so in the second half, we saw Greg Berhalter put in Aronson, which was okay, but then he put in players like Acosta. I was really getting a little worried right there, because once we saw Acosta go into the field, we're like, okay, so what's going on here? We're going to be taking a more defensive approach. And then later in the game, in the second half, he continued to put in players like Haji Wright. We saw Zimmerman also come in, and then we saw Shaq Moore, and I'm like, no way. I know exactly what Greg is thinking. We know exactly what he wants to do with this U.S. men's national team in the last 20 minutes. He's going to just sit back and sit on a low block and just be like, okay, let's just hope for the best. Let's defend our 1-0 lead. And that was very offensive. I did not want to see that. I wanted to see USA score more goals. I'm like, this is not Mexico. USA should not be representing what Mexico did against Argentina. Just try to defend and try to defend their own lead. And even when we look at the average position, right? So let's start with the starting 11 that USA have put out. So you can see that many of these players were evenly spaced out. They were very high up the pitch. You can see that Christian Pulisic was the highest one. You can see that number 21 was right next to Serginho Dest. Number 6 was also right next to Serginho Dest. So they were evenly spaced out. But the substitutions that Greg has made, he used those substitutions only for the sole purpose of sitting back and defending their 1-0 lead. If we can see here, after the substitutions were made, you can see that the shape and our position overall for USA as a collective was way lower than usual, way lower than what they should have been doing in the second half, compared to, if you compare like this starting 11, with the substitutions, and you compare that to the starting 11 that we started out with, you can just see that they were sitting much deeper compared to the first 11 that we did see. And I pray, guys, that USA do not do this against Netherlands. I understand that Netherlands are going to be a completely different monster, but let me tell you guys another thing. If USA can handle England like they did on that other day, then they can definitely handle Netherlands. Definitely. It's not going to be like a 3-0 win for the Netherlands. It's not going to be a 4-0 win or maybe a 4-1 win for the Netherlands. It's not going to be that type of game. USA are going to come in there and fight, but the question is, how are they going to fight? And I want USA to fight in a very respectful way. I do not want to see USA just sit back and having Frankie de Jong just out-dribble all of our players. I don't want to see that, right? Like, again, this is a Barcelona channel. We talk about Frankie de Jong all the time. You and me know how dangerous Frankie de Jong could actually get when he does gain that rhythm, when he takes down about 2 or 3 players. The Netherlands are going to be seeing so much numerical advantages in that final third, and that's something that USA cannot allow that on the pitch, because we will get so run through is not even going to be funny. So those were the few negatives, and I want to talk about certain things that I did like, because I don't know why I headed towards the negatives first, but I had to get that out of my chest because we have to continue to improve. I'm very happy and proud of USA, but we have to continue to improve and get better. If we want to get past the round of 16, we must have a different approach. And I think that USA could do it. USA, they have the pride. You can just see it in the players. They're hungry. They want to represent this country at the world stage against the biggest national teams in the freaking world. So we're leaving the group stages with a total of 5 points, right? It's a miracle, right? We're leaving the group stages with a total of 5 points. We have put out the youngest starting 11 in this tournament so far, which is crazy. And we don't have the best coach in the world. I don't want to put like some shame on our coach, but we don't have the best coach in the world. And the fact that we're still in the round of 16, this team is elite. This team can go so far in about 3 or 4 years. When this World Cup is here in the US in 2026, I think that this team can really do it. We need to have like a whole different other program with a different coach. I hope that is Jesse Marsch, because he looks very educated in football tactics. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He knows what he's talking about always and 100% of the time. If you look at what Jesse Marsch has been saying in the past 2 or 3 weeks, he has been commenting on the US men's national team throughout the past few days because he's very interested. He likes what he sees with these players. And so if we can do this, being the youngest team out there in the World Cup in Qatar, and we were basically in the group of death, and for us to go into the round of 16 and still come out with a great result, we can definitely dominate 2026. Like, can you and me believe in this? Let's believe in what USA could do. This team is elite. We have McKennie, Yunus Musa, Christian Pulisic, Wea, Aronson, Gio Reyna, Dest, Zimmerman, Ream. I don't know if Ream is going to be there, but hopefully he is, because he has been probably one of the best center backs of this tournament so far. But we can definitely have this exact same 11 going into 2026. That's how young this team actually is. And so this team is elite. And I want to also shout out to two different players. Christian Pulisic, he literally sacrificed his balls just to give USA the next round, the round of 16. He sacrificed his body to score that goal, which was amazing. It was an assist coming from Serginho Dest with his head. That ball went straight into the box. Christian Pulisic meets that ball and puts the ball behind the net. But again, he sacrificed himself, and because of that goal that he did score, he had to come out in the second half. Right at halftime, they did not even waste any time. Greg Berhalter supposedly said that Christian Pulisic has to come out. We're going to the second half, but Christian Pulisic doesn't look ready. Let's put Aronson in, which is why I did say that Aronson did come in. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Christian Pulisic gave us the goal. We need to continue to attack. We have a lot of attacking players here. We can score more goals, and you guys already know how that went. Like, I wanted USA to continue to score more goals, but we did not see that. So yeah, props to Christian Pulisic. He is coming out also from the group stages with 1 assist and 1 goal. So he has been very, very efficient, right? He has been delivering. We wanted to see a player in this team that can come out in very difficult moments in order for us to come out with a bang. Christian Pulisic has done that. He does come in very important moments for the US, and that is why we are in the round of 16. And of course, the whole starting 11, all of these players, they have all taken a huge part on why we are in this next round. Another player I also want to shout out is Serginho Dest. Serginho Dest has been phenomenal, and especially in this game against Iran, he is really upgrading. I think that defensively, he is getting much better. His attack is so great. He is able to be very efficient in the wide areas and also be very efficient when he is inverted. And that is the type of game that we did see. We saw Timothy Weah be much more central, Serginho Dest taking on the wide positions. Usually we see the complete opposite. Usually we see Dest central and having Weah come in on basically provide the width. But of course, we saw something very different, and it was for a very big reason. We saw Dest on the wide areas because Greg probably saw Dest in much better form, having more capability to go on 1v1s or 1v2s, because that is what we did see. And it's very interesting to see Dest grow like this, because he is only 21 years old or 22 years old. And I think that if Dest continues to do what he does, and he has a great game against the Netherlands, which is going to be his other home, because remember, a few years ago, he had to basically decide, does he want to represent the Netherlands or the US men's national team? And he chose USA. But if he has a good game, my friends, like let's pay close attention here. If Dest has a good game, whether he provides an assist or if he scores a goal or he has a great defensive performance where he takes down like Memphis Depay or whoever is going to be in the starting 11, right? Because we know that the Netherlands have great players. They have other players like Gakpo. Gakpo is one of the star performers for the for this World Cup so far. But if Dest can handle these players well, even with Aki or Blind, whatever his name is, and Klaassen, if he can have a great, again, defensive performance, Barcelona is going to be paying attention. We have to remember, Sergio Dest is on loan to AC Milan. Barcelona can call back this player if they want to. Right now, the whole idea, and the only thing that we have been hearing in the past few weeks is that Barcelona are not going to call back Sergio Dest. They're probably going to have AC Milan pay for Sergio Dest and just forget about him and bring in another new right back. And we always talk about how like we should bring in Trent and stuff like that, but Sergio Dest has really been delivering. And when a player can deliver at a stage like this, then you have to give this player a chance, right? So could we see Sergio Dest come back to Barcelona and play here for a few more years, right? It's very interesting. So again, there were other players that really did impress me. Like we saw Zimmerman come out, and the only reason why Zimmerman was out it is because Greg Berhalter just simply does not trust him. He has had overall a very great performance so far with the US, but you know there are some mistakes that he does make, and you know we couldn't allow any mistakes against Iran, and that is why we saw Carter Vickers. Carter Vickers was also another center back for US. He has also played very well. I love the way that he played. Probably one of the best players tonight, alongside with Christian Pulisic and Serginho Dest. So I'm very happy with how our defensive line, right, our defense has been trying to be very productive under Greg, and because of them, that is why we are in the round of 16. What's another thing that I do want to talk about? That's basically it, right? I did not understand why we would sit back in the second half when we clearly saw so many chances in the first half, and you can see that the US had so much of a high ceiling and so much of an opportunity to make this a 4-0 game or maybe even a 5-0 game, but for some reason Greg Berhalter wanted to reduce that and say, nah, let's forget about that. We don't need another goal. We have a 1-0 win. Let's just defend our lead in the second half and not even try to attack. Let's just defend, right? So it just didn't make any sense. You look at the final stats of US versus Iran. We had a total of 12 total shots, 2 big chances. We look at the amount of shots off target for the US, it was a total of 12, and shots on target was a total of 5 shots on target. And I think that most of these came in the first 45 minutes, so I had no idea why they wanted to reduce that going into the second half. If anything, you should have extended that and added more emphasis on something like this. So congratulations to USA. This is what I'm talking about. I'm loving the way that USA has been overall performing out of these past 3 matches. Let's see what we can do against the Netherlands. I believe, guys, I really do believe that we can go into the next round and potentially even face Argentina, right? So we could face Argentina in the next round if we do beat Netherlands, which is not going to be an easy task. And of course, I am going to be talking about it here in this channel. So I will see you guys in the next video. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.